See, the first question for physics is calculate the energy associated with 4000 angstrom. Okay, 4000 angstrom means what? Angstrom is a unit of wavelength. Okay, for that, yes, for that you will use E is equal to hc by lambda. Lambda, where lambda is a wavelength, h is a Planck's constant, c is the speed of light. Okay, Planck's constant is what? 6.6 into 10 raised to minus 3 minus 34, and c is 3 into 10 raised to 5 divided by 4000 into 10 raised to minus 10 angstrom. Okay, the answer we'll get is 3.09, which is in terms of electron volt. Energy is in terms of electron volt. Okay, so the answer is 3.09, which is option B. Okay, option B. Next, calculate the threshold frequency of photoelectric emission from a metal of wave function 0.1 electron volt. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
So threshold frequency is equal to phi naught by h, where h is again Planck's constant. Phi is equal to the energy 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 into electron volt, work function 0.1. Okay, if you divide them both, you will get 2.4 into 10 raised to minus 13. Okay, this is the threshold frequency. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Next. Light of wavelength 2000 angstrom falls on an aluminum surface. In aluminum, 4.2 electron volt is required to remove an electron. Okay, what is the energy of the slowest electron? Okay, when they ask you slowest, what will you answer? 0. Okay, directly you can write 0 is the answer. Next, the photoelectric cutoff voltage of an experiment is 1.5 volt. What is the maximum kinetic energy of the photons emitted? Okay, cutoff voltage is 1.5 volt. They have asked for the maximum kinetic energy of the photons emitted. Okay. See, Km is equal to E into V naught. Okay. E is electron charge is what? 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 into voltage is 1.5, which is given in the question. Okay. The energy formula, kinetic energy maximum formula is this, E into V naught, which can be written as, what will be the answer? 2.4 into 10 raised to minus 19. If you calculate it, 1.5 into 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19, you get 2.4 into 10 raised to minus 19. Okay, joules energy. What is the unit of work function? This is a pretty straightforward question. Okay, the answer is B, electron volt, which we have again seen in the previous question. Here they have given work function of 1.1 electron volt, which is there in the previous questions. So you can directly answer that. Okay. Next, what happens to the internal energy of the system if work is done on the system? Okay. See, there is a difference here. I have asked what will be the internal energy of the system if work is done on the system. What will it be? The internal energy increases when work is done on the system. Okay, when work is done by the system, energy decreases. Okay, on the system increases, by the system decreases. Obviously, when work is done by the system, the energy is reduced to get the work done. Okay, when work is done, the existing energy of the system, internal energy. Okay. Now, the standard free energy of a reaction is said to be 0. What will be its equilibrium constant? Okay. The formula for free energy is what? Is minus 2.303 R into log K. Okay, log K, this one becomes 0. Delta G naught is equal to 0. That means log K is 0. If that is the case, K is equal to 1. Equilibrium constant becomes 1. Okay. Next, this is a problem. Standard vaporization enthalpy of benzene at boiling point is 30.8 kilojoules per mole. For how long will a 100-watt electric heater have to operate in order to vaporize a 100-gram sample at the same temperature? Okay. Now this question may seem difficult. It means that benzene vaporizes at this energy. Okay. So for 100 gram of benzene, how long will a 100-watt electric heater have to work? Okay, they have asked to find the answer in minutes. Now let's see. It may seem difficult, but it is pretty simple. Okay, see. For benzene is 30.8 kilojoule per mole. Okay, molecular weight of C6H6, which is benzene, is 7 gram per mole. How did I get 78 gram? C molecular mass, carbon molecular mass is 12, and hydrogen molecular mass almost is 1. So 72 plus 6 will give you 78. Okay, so 78 gram of benzene needs 30.8 kilojoule of energy to vaporize. Okay, so they have asked how much will 100 gram of benzene need. So it is 30.8 divided by 78 into 100. This much energy is required to burn a 100 gram of benzene. Okay. Okay. So, but they have asked time. What is time? Energy by power. You have the energy here, and what is the power of the heater? 100 watt. So if you divide it again, see it is in watt. You have to convert it into kilojoules per second. Okay. Then you will get 394.8 seconds, which when you convert it into minutes, you will get 6.58 minutes. Last, what is the value of delta E for the isothermal expansion of ideal gas? What is the answer? D. For an ideal gas, what is delta E? Okay. Isothermal it is an isothermal expansion, so there will be no delta E in E energy, which is D. Okay, 0. Now let's go for mathematics. First question is area bounded. Okay. Find the area of the region bounded above y is equal to x square plus below y is equal to x, and by limits x is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1. Okay. This is again a pretty straightforward question. The upper boundary is y is equal to x square plus 1. Lower boundary is y is equal to x. Okay. When they ask you for area boundary between these equations, you subtract one and lower curve by higher curve. Okay. It's just x square plus 1 minus x. Okay. Simple straight up integration. Then they've given the limits 0 and 1. You just have to substitute. We'll get the answer as 5 by 6. Okay. Now the next question is also similar, but they've not given the limits directly. Okay. Find the areas between the curve y is equal to x square and y is equal to 2x minus x square. They have not given the limits. Okay, when you equate both the equations, okay, get two values of x, because it's a quadratic equation. You get two values of x, which are the limits. Okay, 0, 0 and 1, 1. Now again the same procedure. Upper limit per curve minus lower curve, you will get x minus x square. Again you integrate it directly. Okay, apply the limits, you will get 1 by 3 square units. Okay, again pretty straightforward. Now the next question is, in how many ways can a student choose a program of 5 courses if 9 courses are available and 2 specific courses are compulsory for every student? Okay, this permutation combination question. Out of 9, if 2 are compulsory and you have to choose them, how many will remain? 7. And you have to choose 5, out of which you have already chosen 2, particular 2. So how many remain? 3. So it's just a matter of combination formula. 7C3, you will get 35. Okay, 7 instead of 9 because there are two courses which are out of options. You have to choose them. If 3, again you have to choose 2, so only 3 will remain. Okay. Out of 6 boys and 4 girls, a group of 7 is to be formed. In how many ways can this be done? The majority is to be boys. Okay, so out of 7, if the majority is to be boys, the minimum starts with 4 boys and 3 girls. Okay, so out of 6 boys and 4 girls, 6 boys and 4 girls, out of 6 you're choosing 6 boys, 4 girls. Okay, so the minimum is the first majority boys will be 4 girls and 3 boys. Out of 6 you're choosing 4. Out of 4 girls you're choosing 3. Okay, first combination will be 64 into 4C3. Okay, whenever they give you and boys and girls, you multiply them. Okay, next will be or. Either you choose 4 girls and 3 boys or 5 boys and 2 girls, right? This will be 4 boys and 3 girls, sorry. 5 boys and 2 girls, again multiplication. 6 boys and 1 girl, again this will be majority. And since the group choices means the group has to contain boys and girls, we'll just stop at this. Okay, if you add all these, you'll get 100. Okay, pretty simple again, not very difficult. Next question. In a championship, there are 36 matches. The number of teams, if each plays 1 match, is how much? Okay. This is similar to the question of where you shake hand with each person in a meeting. Okay. Okay. There are 36 matches. Which will be equal to number of matches which we don't know in a combination of 2. Okay, there will be 2 people playing each match. Okay, again straight up this one combination problem. We'll get n factorial upon n minus into 2 factorial. Okay, up and down you can cancel. N into n minus 1 will remain above into n minus 1. To take 2 this side, it will be 72. Okay, n into n minus 1 means there is just one number which subtract 1. You multiply them, you will get 72. There is just one combination like 9 into 2, 9 into 8. Okay, so it will be 9 into 8. So n is 9. Okay, the answer is B. Understood? Okay, this ends the class.